And you know it formed up to be a fire thing. Now up on stage with critics I sing. Yeah, Jimmy, I'll dig it soon, get the iron ring. Like hello brother, say I just saw ya. Saw you post the spectacular photo. Keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If you need a butter, pass through your son. Yeah, falling on the fun. Me up to talk for the dirty, the burning, the dust, the plus. My gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall on my them. But I go to the friends with the car with me load one time. Sit down in a class on where they only sit the road and come on with it, come on with it. That's what blessings upon me. And send me to tell you I'm sorry. That's what blessings upon me. And that's why I'm gonna give him the job to breathe. I'm in the light. You know some of us are ignited. But the music me excited.
Woo. Okay, let me think about it.
The first day was the hardest because I just sat there and studied the materials for a couple of hours and was roaming around the house trying to figure out what I was going to do with them, seeing if the initial design that I had would work. I was just looking for inspiration, but the inspiration only came to me after I draped onto my model, which was one of the reasons why a mannequin would have been so useful. But once I put the base together, it was pretty much clear to me. In day 2, I decided to make flowers because the base was done in day 1. The plan was to make flowers flow down the outfit in different colors to represent the theme, hence Garden of Time. That's how I was planning to honor the theme. So from green flowers to more colorful flowers to more darker toned flowers, so like the life cycle of a flower basically. So it was a lot of work, but I loved it anyway, because I did love the idea, yeah, absolutely, but I hated myself for all the flowers I had to make. But day 3 wasn't any easier than day 2, because then I had to put the flowers together on the base, and I don't know why I decided I wanted a long piece. So all the way down from the bust to the ankles, I had to put the flowers together in some sort of creative way to make it look like, to make it portray exactly what I had in my mind.
As for like the progress, midway in like doing this project, it was just, I didn't know what to do still. Day 1, I hadn't gotten anything done. Day 2, I stitched together my white fabric. Oh yeah, I also grabbed white because I wanted the white and then light blue and then dark blue to have like a gradient, because I was gonna use those scraps as like an underskirt, so when you look under my skirt there'll be like waves of water and whatnot. So that's why I use the whites and the blues as underskirts to be like water under, as the trees like soaking up the water. Yeah, so I worked on that. I just stitched together all the pieces and then I created like long ruffles. Then I used like just a basic white fabric that I also grabbed from the scraps, stitched it together into like a makeshift circle skirt, and it wasn't really exactly a circle skirt. I had to cut it into a bunch of triangles for it to imitate a circle. So I attached my white fabrics to that to imitate like the water. Then I started working on the skirt. The skirt, like the top layer of the skirt, was like the tricky part because I wanted it to be brown and my browns were not like the same shades or even close to the same shades, so it was just really hard. So I had this scrap fabric that I stitched together all my browns, still use the same technique of cutting the brown material into like triangles and make a makeshift circle skirt. And then on top of that I stitched on like these shiny little white like brown scraps. I stitched them together by hand because the material was so fragile, and like I didn't want those pieces to go to waste because they were so pretty and like shiny, and obviously I wouldn't be able to get it anywhere else, so I stitched it by hand on top of the brown scraps. And I'm glad I did because it covered the brown scraps and you can't see that they are not the same gradient or same colors or the same shades of brown. So the water at the bottom, tree trunk, is the skirt, and then going up I use the pink scraps. I cut them into circles and then I burned the edges to form like little petals. That took forever. I burned petals for like maybe like a whole day. And then like when I would have to like go to school or something, when I come back, they're all disorganized and some flew away. Like our house is still full of those little roses. And the leaves also cut out like small little green leaves.
And then when I was done with the design, I then started to make my pattern. This was not easy, guys, because I didn't really have a big table to use to make my patterns, so I had to improvise and just use the floor. Okay, so after I was done with that, so I decided I had to start with the design, the whole dress. So I decided to use white as the base for the dress, and it took me a while to finish the base actually. So but then after I was done, I decided to go and start doing the flowers. Well, the flowers were not easy because I had to do them by hand. So I sat the whole day doing the flowers, making the flowers, and I actually ended up having fun at the end of the day because I just watched series the whole time, and next thing I knew I was done. After I was done with the flowers, then I needed to knit them onto the dress, like with my hands again. So this was also very, very difficult because I didn't really have a mannequin doll or something that can hold the dress so I can knit the flowers onto the dress. So I had to improvise once again, which I managed, guys. But to be honest, I kind of took a lot of breaks during this time, so I actually ended up going on for drinks with my friend at one point. But yeah, at the end of the day, which was kind of day 3, I was done. And yeah,